Hey guys, it's Elizabeth from the Missionaries of God's Love in Tustin, California, and today we're going to talk about people who have more are not happier. But before we dive into the topic, let us prepare ourselves for this teaching and meditation. I invite you to find a quiet place to sit. Straighten your back, relax your shoulders, and take a deep breath in. Invite the Holy Spirit to come to you. Holy Spirit, please come to me. Show me how to live, act, feel, and think whatever you want, Lord. And thank you for listening to my prayer. Many people have asked, why do people who are not closer to God have a quote-unquote better life? But by better they mean that they're more wealthy. But this is such a big lie. Thinking that people who have more money are living a better life. Who told you that those who are wealthy are more happier than those who have less? Humans are naturally ambitious, and this is also because it is one of our weaknesses. We want more and more and more, even if we have enough to live. This is why Christians struggle with the question, why does God bless those people more? But they're misunderstanding the idea of blessings. Let us remember that once we have our basic needs met, food, clothes, and a home, everything else we have is a big plus. Although having more money can give us these high peaks of excitement by buying things or experiences, once those high feelings pass, we're just left feeling low. The same lowness we have felt from the beginning. This is why people who live like this are never satisfied and just want more and more and more. Ambition and greed are one of the biggest temptations that humans suffer. Please watch out for this. The least thing that saints would have are ambition and greed. They would give up all materialistic things. They no longer wanted to depend on those materialistic things, but they rather depend on God. And this is still true. Saints and people still want to strive to live like that. Alright, let's think. How many bird nests does a bird have? If a bird wanted, they can have multiple nests at different places, at different cities, mountains, valleys, and trees. They could have a nest wherever they want, and yet they only have one nest. So why are we so ambitious? We want a nest here and there so we can have one whenever we need it, or whenever we want it, or so we can just show it off. Sometimes we're so empty. A bird is happy with their one nest. How many rooms do you really need? Especially if it's just for 1, 2, 3, or 4 persons. How much water does a deer drink at a river? They only drink what they need. How much grass does a cow eat? Again, they only eat what they need for that day. Neither of them accumulates more than what they need, and none of them competes with one another so they have more. Don't you think that we could learn from God's creation? Look at how Jesus lived, the Son of God. He could have been a multi-millionaire king, the most wealthiest king ever. Yet, he chose to be born in a barn among animals. And that was enough for Jesus. Joseph and Mary were happy, not because of the birthplace, but because of the visitors. Please keep this phrase in your mind and throughout your life. It's not where you live that makes you happy, but it is the people who make you happy. You can have a castle but be lonely, have terrible company, or you yourself might be unhappy or have negative thoughts. Or you can live in a small house filled with people who love you. Where would you rather live? Again, it does not matter where you live, but who you live with. The best company or roommate you can have is Jesus. Try it out and you'll find out. I promise you, Jesus' company is literally the best thing in this world. I know it because I've heard it from many people and I'm discovering it myself. And if God allows you to have more than what you need, that's good, but it's not for you to just show off. Let us not be like that rich person in Luke. That rich man that just wanted to have more and more. If God gives us more than what we need, it is so that we can share our wealth to those who need it. We need to share the goods that God has given us. Let us read the parable that we were referring to in Luke. Luke 12, verses 16 through 21 reads, Then he told them a parable, saying, There was a rich man whose land was very fertile and productive. And he began thinking to himself, What shall I do, since I have no place large enough in which to store my crops? Then he said, This is what I will do. I will tear down my storehouses and build larger ones, and I will store all my grain and my goods there. And I will say to my soul, Soul, you have many good things stored up, enough for many years. Rest and relax and eat, drink, and be merry. Celebrate continually. But God said to him, You fool! This very night your soul is required of you, and now who will own all the things you have prepared? So it is for the one who continues to store up and hoard possessions for himself, and is not rich in his relationship towards God. After reading this Bible phrase, let's ask ourselves, do we really want to have more materialistic things? No. Let us ask God to only give us the necessary things we need in our lives. Instead, let us want more from God and His love and His Spirit. Continue meditating on this topic and tell God, Speak to me, O Lord, for your servant is listening.